Today we're doing a safety inspection blitz on heavy vehicles in the Toronto area. A big city like Toronto, there's no inspection scales right in the city. So what we've done is teamed up with the City of Toronto Police and the Ministry of Transport, and we've set up a temporary inspection location. And the police officers are going out into the area highways and city streets, and they're looking for defective trucks. They're bringing them in here, we're weighing them, inspecting them, and we're finding almost everything we're pulling in is unsafe or overloaded or both. The people doing the inspections are from the Ontario Ministry of Transportation. They're vehicle inspectors, and their job, they're almost like mechanics, and their job is to check the trucks according to the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, which is a set of criteria that's been agreed upon by the trucking industry and government.
The economy's been bad the last few years. I think we've started to give, or we have been giving, far too many breaks to some of these truck drivers and trucking companies. And I think the out of service percentage is staying at the same, so we're going to have to start cracking down maybe a little harder.
What's scary is that a truck in bad shape is twice as likely as a good truck to get involved in an accident. And in that trucks are so much bigger than cars, the size and weight, if they get in an accident, it's going to be a bad one.
They're dangerous, they're big, and when we see something that's like brakes, for example, when they're out, yes, it's scary. You know, and I have a little girl, I'm driving the roads too, so it's spooky, you know, dealing with big equipment like this. So.
One of the trucks I pulled in today was driving down Highway 400. It was loaded with hanging beef. I pulled him in, and as soon as I started checking the paperwork, I found that the license plates had been unlawfully removed from a car and just stuck on the tractor. Basically, it had phony license plates. It had the wrong name of the owner on it. It had someone who doesn't even own the thing anymore. Just happened the owner was driving. He had no logbook. He had no operating authority to even be on this highway. He had no trucking license whatsoever.
A lot of this stuff pretty obvious?
Yes, depending on what it is, like leaf springs or U-bolts, tires, a lot of them are obvious. We also look for nuts and bolts, make sure they're all intact, and that's the obvious stuff.
Some of it kind of scary, what you do see?
Oh yeah, we do see quite a few interesting stuff. Leaf springs are one of the main, gives it away. When you see a broken leaf spring, most of the time you can tell that the vehicle is not maintained properly most of the time. So.
This is the spare tire. It's found hanging in a hanger here, supported by the lower beam, just behind the lift axle. It's a nice tire, but it's held in by gravity. There's a chain that is supposed to be on and hooked around this tire at all times to keep it in place. Someone has failed to put that chain on.
It could have come out while on the highway.
Definitely. The right set of circumstances, the right bouncing, out it would come, and it would go anywhere. This could cause serious harm to somebody. This is a reinforced air hose. It's an air brake hose. In this particular case, this hose is leading to the spring brake portion of the brake chamber. And as we're sitting here, this is the third axle or the one of the drive axles. This hose is worn through the outer covering into the inner fabric and is wearing through that too. The reinforcement ply has been worn out. This is ready to burst.
And then what would happen?
If this burst, there'd be an instant air loss going to that brake chamber, which would in turn cause that brake chamber to, as they know it, dynamite or come on, and the parking brake would come on at any speed he's going. So these two wheels would stop.
Problem with this truck is it's a tractor trailer and pup loaded with steel. It's overloaded, load's insecure. We've got air leaks, bad tires, and the brakes are completely out of adjustment on the tractor. They're in adjustment on one trailer, but again out of adjustment on the pup. Very dangerous condition. This truck's an accident looking for a place to happen. One of the scary things is here, a lot of these situations just don't have to happen. The drivers are supposed to check their truck thoroughly before they drive it. It's the same throughout North America. They're supposed to check 27 separate items. They're supposed to check it in writing if they're going on a long distance. And just like an airline pilot's supposed to do a pre-flight check. I certainly wouldn't want to fly with any of these guys if they were flying an aircraft.
Feel better that it's been checked anyway.
Yep.
You're off the road.
Yep. It'll be fixed. There's a licensed mechanic on his way up here now to do it. So,
You're still alive.
yep. But actually, I'm glad to see it. This should have been started a long time ago, and there might have been only half the truck accidents there is. But I can remember when I started driving, altogether a different ball game to what it is now. They got so many laws now that I don't know. I think it's just nerve-wracking really to keep up with the laws and everything like that. But as far as I'm concerned, they should all be checked, along with a lot of cars. I gotta get that dig in.
The driver and the owner. The owner's responsible to instruct the driver to do it. The driver's responsible to do it. The owner's responsible to keep the maintenance up.
Tell us what happened.
Well, nothing. I was going west on Shepherd. I was going back to my job. I've got a load of asphalt. They pulled me over and they said it's a routine check. They gave me a weigh over here. They said my weight's all right, but they checked the whole truck out and found out the power steering belt was loose. So I said, well, you have to hold me just for that? I'm 2 minutes away from my job. Can I at least drop the asphalt, get rid of it, and come back, and you could take the plates off for all I care, as long as I could save this stuff. They said, no. Said, you gotta comply, and they grounded the truck. I called my mechanic, my lifesaver, came over, fixed it up for me. I'm on my way.
Overall, what do you think of it?
Well, it's a little bit strict. I mean, I was 1 minute away from work. It's a little bit ridiculous, but it's safe. I mean, the highways are getting bad. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think they should have a little bit of consideration for things like this. Extenuating circumstances. Stone is not going to go bad. This will. I've got to go.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah.
About 2/3 of the ones we've inspected today have been so unsafe that we can't let them leave. They're placed out of service or grounded. And that means either a mechanic or a tow truck has to come and tow them away or make enough repairs to make them safe. I certainly wouldn't pull in front of a truck. If you have a truck following you too closely, let them by. Remember, 1/3 of these things probably can't stop properly.